I'ma take it to the coffin, just being honest. Never let a manufacture stack like that. And if it getting toxic, tell the boy fall back. If it was back then, I'd be tripping off that. Took a little time just to get me on track. I went from snotty to snobby, got it like, immune to everybody, this is stunt 101. Up in the club, throwing this 50s like, hated to love it, I just can't get enough. Labels keep calling me, I said move if you call me please, or don't even bother me. They said, oh my apologies, they keep calling and calling. I keep stalling and stalling. Rookie of the year, my career snowballing. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin, just being honest.
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the venerable Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
On one, ready?
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. This defense for the Saints, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times 2 interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. And it's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Saints, nothing.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They go play action. Winston. And he fires one incomplete. Charles already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Third and short yardage. Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Here's a quick throw to Higgins out wide. And he'll be brought down inside. Line.
A gain of 5 brings up 7 and 5.
Here we go. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it and brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
McPherson's kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Well, how about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Hayden Hurst, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0.
Saints nothing. Evan McPherson to kick off.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 17-0 our score after 1. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
On 1, ready?
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
On one, ready?
The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner. He got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think. Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there. It keeps them advancing the ball.
Back to Mixon on second down. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Burrow on third down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. It's Mixon on the counter. And he's got some space here. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just almost saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Saints take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage, completion-wise, way up. Not that time. Burrow once again here on 2nd and 10. This one caught downfield by Higgins. Touchdown, Bengals. T. Higgins, 61 yards. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Saints 7. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Play action now, Winston. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 18 yards there on the catch and run. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
To throw again on second down, Winston. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, it looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Jameis again. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Jameis to throw it. Slant pass complete to Olave. Touchdown! Chris Olave, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now down to 20.
Makes the score Bengals 34, Saints 18.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From his end zone, Wilson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
11.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Marcus May with a pick. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. On play action, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be out right at the 35. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Winston. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Daxton Hill brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. But look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
That's good for a Saints.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Sam Hubbard able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
It certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
11. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. 102 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here we go.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston, and going deep for Hill. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Pushes past him. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 125 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
11 Thomas.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Olave over the middle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's good for the Saints. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
First down, Winston. Going up top. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Mixing up the middle. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 144 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. This is caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Saints 14. Evan McPherson, the kickoff for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
And the Saints, first down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They go play action. Winston. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Daxton Hill picks it off. And he will bring it back back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
And McPherson on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Bengals 55, Saints 14. Evan McPherson, the kickoff for Cincinnati.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. 30, 20, 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Bengals 62, Saints 14. Evan McPherson.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Cameron Sample in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception.
Daxton Hill picks it off.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second.